Hello juniors, and welcome to this week's episode of your Junior Advisory video series. Please get out your Chromebook and meet us at the Helix Charter High School website so we can start to create your junior proposal. While you're transitioning to get your Chromebook open, please remember that each week in advisory, the more you pay attention and focus and use your time wisely, the less work you'll have to do on your own at home when it comes to completing the proposal. We feel that if you're using 10-15 solid minutes per week, by the time it comes due at the end of October, your proposal will be nearly finished and you'll just have to add the finishing touches. Also remember, while you're opening your Chromebook, hopefully you're almost ready to go, one more reminder to start figuring out who can be your consultant. That's your adult who's going to guide you through this process and help you learn and help you troubleshoot. Remember that this cannot be a family member. Okay, let's begin this process. By now you are here at the Helix Charter High School website and you're going to come up to the Students tab. Once you click there, go down to Senior Project. This is what you will use every time you need something for the project throughout junior and senior year. Once you click there, it takes you to the Senior Project website. This is where you've been coming if you needed to rewatch the videos, or perhaps if you were taking the quiz at the end of advisory so you could win a prize. Remember that here are our rooms, room 50 and 140A, and of course our email addresses if you have any questions to come see us or send us a message. Scroll down, and the first thing we are going to do is look here at the sample proposal. In a moment, when you click on this, it will ask you to make a copy, and we're going to ask that you rename the copy following our protocol. So go ahead and click Sample Proposal, and it takes you here. Click there. And it will say Copy Document, and it will ask if you'd like to make a copy. So you're going to click Make a Copy. Now that you have a copy, we want you to name it according to the same protocol that everyone in the class will use. So you're going to write your first name and last name and the word proposal. So for an example, let's say a student's name is Mark Lawson. He would write Mark Lawson at the top, and then he would write proposal. This way his document is clearly renamed and he can always find it in his Google Drive. So please rename your proposal now with your first name and last name in the top left corner. Once you've renamed your document, we're ready to start your actual proposal. So as you take a look, this is what we saw last week with our sample that you had a paper copy of. We went over an overview of all of the components. So now we're going to actually start creating the proposal. We are launching our new logo so that you always remember that your learning is at the forefront of this process and it's the most important thing to be mindful of as we go. The My Idea section of the project is the junior year, the proposal that we're starting together now. After you complete this idea and you work through the approval process, you will continue on to My Journey. This is completing the actual project and gathering evaluations from your client, consultant, and audience members. Finally, as a senior, you will bring your documentation evidence and you will present in two ways. In front of a panel of judges where they ask you questions and you present that final product, as well as in a polished speech right before graduation. So this is the My Voice component of the senior project. So these three components make up your learning. Now that we've gone over that and you have the big picture in mind, let's start by redoing our heading. So here on the sample, you all see Stephen Morrison. You're going to write your name. Once you have your name, go ahead and delete the sample ID and write your ID. If you happen to be doing a construction project, just leave the construction word there for your category. If you're doing a different project, go ahead and type in whatever category you're doing, such as business entrepreneurship or science or coaching or education. I'm going to use fitness as the example today. Here you will type the last name of your advisory teacher and your advisory room number. Leave this information here, class of 2019. That will remain there throughout junior and senior year, so we always know what grade level you're in anytime we pull this up, whether it's junior year or senior year. Okay, so as we continue on this week, our goal is to complete our title for the project and to start working on section A, My Idea, which is the detailed summary that we went over last week in our overview. So as you look to the sample template, it says Remodel Helix Cheer Room. You're going to delete that and you're going to give a title for your project. So in this example, I would delete that, and let's say Mark is doing fitness and he's chosen to do a half marathon. So he's done a little bit of research and he's looked at costs, and he's decided that the Silver Strand Half Marathon is not only a local race right here on Coronado, but it's also one of the more affordable races. So he's going to write the Silver Strand Half Marathon. Just a very straightforward title. Now we're going to look to section A, which is the paragraph summary. Your goal here is 8 to 12 sentences. Here you see in the sample, the remodel example, exactly what the student will be doing, the dimensions of the final product, or in this case the room, who will evaluate the product, the consultant, and 10 people serving as an audience will go through the room and evaluate it. It is also listed for each student that the consultant and client will complete evaluations. So again, this tells us what's going to be learned, who the consultant will be, how that person is qualified, what the final product will look like, and how this final project will be evaluated. So what you're going to do is delete the sample, and you're going to begin your own summary. So here, just remember to include several things. The first thing will be a sentence that explains exactly what the project will be. So for my senior project, I will train for and complete the Silver Strand Half Marathon in November of 2018. That could be this person's goal. So you're going to write that, and as you continue down, you're filling in those details. You're telling us who the consultant will be, what that person's qualifications are, and approximately when you plan to finish this project. You're also going to tell us why this is a stretch for you. For example, perhaps you've jogged casually on the side, you've been trying to get more interested in your fitness, but you've never really taken on this big of a challenge. So that is where this project has a stretch or challenge. You're going to include that information here. You're going to get into more detail on that later on in your project justification, but just let us know why this is the project you want to challenge, why you want to try it. Finally, you're going to include that you will have a consultant evaluation and audience evaluations. So let's say you're knitting a blanket. You would show 10 people that final blanket and they would complete audience evaluations. So for now, we want to give you the last part of advisory. You should have over 10 minutes to complete this paragraph and work on it so that next week when we open this document in your Google Drive, we start here by refining your abstract here in My Idea, your summary. We will also begin to work on the learning steps. We always recommend, if you go up to the top, when you're back here at the Senior Project website, you can always go to Home, and you can always scroll down here to Specific Project Guidelines. By clicking on that tab, you can open your category guidelines. So in this example, we see fitness. It makes it very nice to have this tab open as you are completing your proposal, because you can make sure to include exactly what's required, and you can see, oh, I will need to have an athlete's log. So while having this tab open alongside your proposal, you'll make sure you're not missing any of the required components. So at this point, we hope you have an idea of how to not only fix your heading, how to title your project, but how to start your summary of your idea. We're going to leave it there for this week, and when we pick up next week, we'll complete this abstract summary and the 5 learning steps. So we hope you use the rest of advisory to work hard so that we're ready to rock and roll next week. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a great rest of your day.